Best pie in all of Placer County.
We don't live nearby, so we're always traveling back and forth. We do a cabin up in Truckee, so we try to stop here. On the way up, on the way back, it's up there.
They're really the best pies I've ever had.
Glenn Ikeda has worked here since he was a boy.
My parents started farming, in the 40s. They wanted to sell their fruits to the locals. We built this store here in 1970, but in the 50s, they were actually a little wagon on the side of the road is how they started. So it's about 50, 60 years we've been here.
It used to be a little tiny fruit stand, and then, the pies are still great.
I said, let's take some of that ripe fruit. We're already making too much jam and jelly, and we devised a way to make pies out of the fresh, ripe fruit. And from there, we said, if I could sell 30 pies a day, I could break even. And the first day, we sold 100 pies. And now, we're more popular for our pies than we're actually everything else in the store. We make the apple and all the berry pies fresh every single day. Everything is done by hand. We don't do machinery, so the pies all are done by different workers. You'll see every person has a certain type of crimp. Every person has a certain type of layout, how they put the crust on. We grow the fruit that goes into the pies. I think that's a very important part of why our pies are so good.
The Ikeda farms are just a couple of miles away, and Glenn said he'd show us some of the trees.
We are in the ranch that grows all the apples and the peaches and the berries that we put into our pies. It's about 45 acres. 10 of it is apples, 30 acres in nectarines and peaches.
But these trees aren't full of fruit right now.
They're dormant, they're sleeping. And you need to have enough cold weather that they sleep for at least a month and a half. Otherwise the fruit doesn't set as well. Alberto's here, and he's farming and getting the trees ready for the spring when they'll set with blossoms and we'll get fruit, hopefully. Better get some water this year, Alberto. No water, we're in trouble.
Apples that are properly stored can be used through the winter months. And here, many end up coming to this wonderful contraption not far from the kitchen.
It's a unique machine made by a company called FBPs out of New York. Literally, we're working with an antique machine. You place the apple, the spindle comes up, injects itself into the apple, and then it rotates around a blade. The spindle comes out, the apple falls down onto a lever that pushes it down a chute that falls into the box.
Then the apples are sliced and spiced and get mounded into sizable pies by the team of bakers here.
And we couldn't do without them. They know how to make the pie just right. It looks perfect. The look and the feel and the taste becomes part of their product. There you go, Chela. Sylvia, here we go. Comida. Ardan, you need to try it too.
This is probably as close to Grandma's pies as they come.
Not too sweet, not too tart.
Apple pie there. Look at that baby right there.
Can taste the apple, lots of cinnamon, not too much nutmeg.
That, it is still warm. It's still warm. How can you beat that?
Cobbler it is. I won over the cherry.
We sell a lot of pies, almost 80 to 100,000 pies a year. The best. The best pies.
There's nothing more American than an apple pie.
Everybody loves pie. And so we're happy that we're being able to be successful raising the fruit and putting in the pies. And I think now we have the perfect apple pie.
It's a beauty.
Looking for beautiful pies may lead you to a city like Portland, Maine, where before you head for the docks, you may want to check out the small bakery called Two Fat Cats.